Good morning, baseball fans, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be going over the June 2nd baseball games with 10 of them. Yesterday was Lou Gehrig's day in the MLB, the first one that they were hosting. They were trying to raise money for ALS patients and the foundation and all that stuff. It was a pretty good day around the league, and honestly, I didn't know much about Lou Gehrig going into yesterday other than the pursuit that Cal Ripkin went on for this. So it was interesting learning a lot about him, his career, and what happened to him. I'm a plug. I'm a young guy, didn't know much about him, wasn't around, didn't watch him, etc., etc. So it was kind of cool running down what he was all about and what he stood for in the league. Other than that, we got 10 games to go through. So before we go that, scroll down there, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the community. Lots of baseball talk going on, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But let's jump into it. First game of the day yesterday, we had the Cubs 6, Padres 1, and the Cubs sweep the Padres. Cubs are just on a complete roll right now, and it's great to watch for them. Rizzo's back in the lineup. He had a 3-hit night. They got out to a 1-0 deficit where they bounced back right away in the bottom of the fourth. Then in the bottom of the fifth, they took the lead, and they didn't look back. Bottom of the seventh, they added a little bit. Baez hits his 14th home run of the season, and for the Padres, they're going to be missing Tatis at least for a little bit here. He was out of the lineup again, and they pick up the loss. Lamet goes 4, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts for 72 pitches. We're watching him slowly pick up his pitch count and get stretched out a little bit. They're going to need him because they're lacking a little bit of the starter depth, it seems, as of late, at least for pitchers that can go quite a bit of innings. Alzolay goes 5, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. Seems to be found money for the Cubs as of late, and he picks up his 4th win of the season, and the Cubs bullpen does the rest of the work. Cubs are streaking. Next game, we got the Mets 7, Diamondbacks 6, and this first inning was one for the ages. 4 runs scored by the Mets, answered immediately by 5 runs scored by the Diamondbacks, and then the Mets tied it up right away in the top of the second. So it was 5-5 about halfway through. Mets took a lead, they blew the lead, and then top of the ninth, the Mets take the lead for good, and it's a big win for them. They continue to pull away in this division, even though they're dealing with injuries and the starting pitching rotation isn't completely there. They slowly are pulling away, and what can you say? 16-hit night by the Mets. James McCann hits his 4th home run of the season, and then for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Kentel Marte hits his 4th of the season. But that's it. Both those come in the first inning. 3-run for McCann and a 2-run for Marte. Peterson for the Mets goes 1 out, 5 earned runs, 0 Ks. Doesn't even get out of that first inning. And then the Mets turn to their one-time starter, Gesellman, 3.2. And then Lugo, also a one-time starter. Back in a couple of years ago, both these guys were starting for the Mets. On the Arizona Diamondback side, we got Bumgarner going 2, 5 earned runs, 2 Ks. He's had 2 straight outings now, Bumgarner, where it hasn't gone so well for him. Moving along with the Orioles, starting a streak of the other direction. They've now won 2 in a row off these poor Twins, who, this is pretty much it. The Twins, if they're losing series to the Orioles, how can they probably compete in this division? They probably can't. So this is probably that point where you kind of come to the realization that the Twins season is probably going to be a long, painful one. Jeffers for the Twins hits his 1st home run of the season. And then for the Baltimore Orioles, we have Stewart hitting his 6th. Mountcastle also hitting his 6th. It seems those 2 guys keep hitting home runs on the same day. Or maybe it was just last time. They both hit their 5th on the same day. Matt Harvey goes 3, 1 earned run, 3 Ks. Bringing that ERA down a tad. But there's only three innings. He goes 43 pitches, nothing too crazy to write home about. Dobnak gets his 5th loss of the season, 5.2, 3 earned runs, and 3 strikeouts. This is a battle. But the Orioles are now streaking the other direction. Do you think they can put 14 in a row of wins. Quite possibly. Let's see it. Well, let's see it, and I can make a video about it. Yankees 4, Rays 3, and the Yankees now have beat the Rays in back-to-back series that they played, or at least tied, because I know they have a game 4 today. But yeah, the Yankees aren't going to lose to the Rays this time. I know for the past little while that the Rays have had the numbers, but the Yankees seem to be turning around on them, especially because these Rays were streaking in the month of May. The Yankees got it to a 4-1 lead about halfway through, and the Rays only added a couple of runs to bring it within one. But with the Yankees bullpen, they're solid, and then Chapman comes in for his 12th save of the season. Montgomery goes 6.1, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, and McClanahan on the other side, 3.1, 4 earned run, 6 Ks in the loss here. For home run wise, we only have the Yankees, Urshela, hitting his 6th of the season. That came in that first inning off McClanahan, but the rest was not really much to say other than the Yankees. They're making up some ground on the Rays, and Boston lost as well, and we'll get to that in a second. Speaking of making up some ground, the Blue Jays 6, Marlins 5. The Blue Jays sweep this little 2-game series, and the Marlins in this one, they scored all their runs off of home runs, which is somewhat concerning, but at the same time, this new Buffalo Stadium where the Jays are playing, maybe it's that kind of stadium, and that will make good for the Blue Jays themselves. Bottom of the 9th, Jays down by 2, 5-3. They put up a 3 spot. Their first walk-off comeback game feels like this whole season, because I did not have faith personally. I thought the game was over, but they put up a big inning here. Grichuk had a good night, 2 home runs himself. He's up to 11. Both of those coming up earlier in the game. So this 9th inning walk-off was brought to you by Joe Panic on a sacrifice fly. Corey Dickerson hit his 2nd of the season. Chaz Chisholm hits his 6th, Aguilar his 10th, and Marte his 3rd. So like I said, all home runs for the Marlins offense. Lopez goes 4, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks. He had a very good outing. He was pitching very well. Manoah on the other side, 3.14 earned run, 5 Ks. Had a little bit of a struggle. Gave up 3 home runs in his 2nd career start. But he's on the Blue Jays, and they have some offense, and they bailed him out. So he's still looking for that first loss of his career. Didn't get it yesterday. Nationals 5, Braves 3, and I don't know. I already kind of touched on this already, how the Mets are slowly pulling away because the other teams don't want to be in it. And the Braves are showing that in this series so far. Washington winning now back-to-back games, and coming back here late in this game. There's 3-3, and they took a lead in the 8th and added one in the 9th, and the Braves, that's it. They didn't win. Washington, Juan Soto hits his 6th of the season. Gomez hits his 5th of the season. For the Braves, with Dansby Swanson hit his 9th. I don't know. There's something just not clicking right with these Braves. They somehow are very close to 500 still. They've been above 500, and then they've tanked really below, back to 500, and now they're below, and it's been kind of roller coastery. I don't even count them out yet. That's the sad part. Smiley goes 4.1, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. John Lester for the Washington Nationals, 1 earned run over 5.2. Big, no decision for him, though. And Brad Hand comes in for his 9th save of the season. Moving along, we got Astros 2, Red Sox 1, and the Astros have completely swept 3 games in a row against the Boston Red Sox, which, of course, is right when I finally put the Red Sox 3rd in the power rankings and thinking that, okay, I can finally believe they're top contenders. Now the Astros, who I had pretty high because they were dealing with injuries, considering their record, I had them high. They're taking care of business in this one. And this one was a pitching one. Valdez went 7, 1 earned run, 10 Ks. And he's first win of the season, but it's a good one. Pivetta gets his first loss of the season, 6-1 on the season, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks. And I do believe that that's his first ever loss as a Boston Red Sox too. So that's just a little fun information there. No home runs in this game. Just a little 2-1 win for the Astros, 1-1 in the first, and then the Astros added 1 in the bottom of the 4th. And that was it. Bullpens do the rest, and that's the game. Rockies 6, Rangers 3. Rockies been taking care of business, at least against some of the weaker teams as of late. Diamondbacks, now the Rangers. So A little bit of credit, at least in the bottom of the power rankings, that they're going to be getting. Santazella gets his second win of the season, 7.2, 1 earned run, 3 Ks. He went the distance, 89 pitches for almost 8 innings, very good. Lyles goes 5, 3 earned runs, 2 Ks. And we have no home runs for the for the Rangers, and then on the Rockies we have Fuentes hitting his 5th of the season. Going on, we have the Dodgers 14, Cardinals 3, and this is typical Dodgers kind of game here where they put up 11 in the bottom of the first and didn't have to look back. We've seen it before this season. We've seen it last year, how the Dodgers can just put up these insane innings, and that's what their offense is kind of about. And that's really all I'm going to hit on with that. Bellinger back in the lineup, hits his first, technically his second, but his first home run of the season. If we all think back to the beginning of the season where he ran past Justin Turner after hitting a home run and getting called out, so it didn't count. Goldschmidt hit his 7th of the home season, and Carlson his 6th. Carlos Martinez doesn't escape the first inning, 10 earned runs, 1 strikeout, and Buehler goes 6, 3 earned runs, 8 Ks. If you give Buehler 11 runs in that first inning, he's going to get it done for you, and that's what he does in this case. The Dodgers are going to pounce while they can. The Padres are going to struggle maybe with Tatis out, so the Dodgers better take advantage. Athletics 6, Mariners 2, so that's back-to-back games now. The A's have come back and beaten on the Mariners, putting them probably back in their place, below 500, all that stuff. Sean Manaea goes 9 complete games. 9 complete games shutout here. 8 Ks, no earned runs, of course. Flexen goes 6, 5 earned runs, 3 Ks. And we have home runs from Mitch Moreland, his 5th of the season. And that's it. The A's are back in it. And that's the first ever MLB Lou Gehrig's day across MLB. Thanks for watching. If you have something to add, throw it in the comments. We'll keep the discussion going. Until then, we'll see you guys for the next video.